Prepping for a blackout isn't about building a bunker or panicking over worst-case scenarios. It's about identifying everyday dependencies: light, heat, communication, water, and food, and finding alternatives before you're forced to. In Europe, where a modern lifestyle often hinges on reliable electricity, these backups are no longer optional. They're essential. Let's start with light and power. A reliable flashlight or headlamp should be in every major room of your house. Opt for LED options with long battery life. Battery-powered lanterns provide ambient light and are perfect for shared spaces. If your budget allows, consider investing in a solar generator or a lithium-ion portable power station. These devices can run essential small appliances, recharge your phones, and power a router or emergency radio for hours or even days. In Southern Europe, solar chargers for mobile phones and radios are particularly effective. Compact, silent, and endlessly reusable. Water access is often overlooked. Most urban water supplies depend on electric pumps. In a prolonged blackout, pressure drops and water may stop flowing. Store at least 3 to 4 liters per person per day for drinking and hygiene, and plan for at least 3 days of autonomy. A gravity-fed water filter, such as a Berkey or ceramic drip system, provides a reliable purification method for rainwater or other unfiltered sources. Water purification tablets are lightweight and cheap. Keep some in your emergency bag or vehicle. Food security is equally critical. Stock up on shelf-stable foods that require no refrigeration and minimal preparation. Good staples include canned goods, beans, meats, vegetables, dried legumes and grains, dehydrated fruit, instant noodles, and high-calorie spreads like peanut butter. Powdered milk, electrolyte drink powders, and vitamins add nutrition and variety. Store food in airtight containers and label everything with purchase and expiry dates. A manual can opener and a small camping stove with extra fuel can allow you to prepare warm meals even without electricity. Don't forget utensils, cookware, and some basic spices. Morale matters in stressful conditions. Temperature control is about layering and insulation. For winter, wool blankets, thermal clothing, and hot water bottles provide safe, electricity-free warmth. For summer, blackout curtains, battery-powered fans, and cross-ventilation strategies can help manage indoor temperatures. If possible, insulate your attic, windows, and doors. Small adjustments like weather stripping or draft blockers can extend your comfort window by several hours during a blackout. Communication is the final layer of essential preparedness. A hand crank or battery-powered emergency radio lets you monitor news and weather alerts if mobile networks are down. Maintain a printed list of emergency contacts, family addresses, and local emergency services. Keep emergency cash in small denominations, enough to cover several days of basic expenses, especially in regions where card payments dominate. Store it in a waterproof bag, along with a basic ID copy and utility bill for identity verification if needed. Every member of your household should know the location of emergency supplies, how to operate backup equipment, and what to do in the event of a power cut. Practice a short family blackout drill at least once a year. The goal isn't to create fear, but familiarity. Because when the lights do go out, being calm and confident in your next steps is one of the greatest resources you can have. A system under strain. Europe's energy infrastructure is buckling under pressure. Once praised for its interconnected grid and stable supply, the continent now faces mounting strain from aging assets, rising demand, climate disruptions, and geopolitical volatility. The threat of large-scale blackouts is no longer hypothetical. It's here. The blackout on April 28, 2025 illustrates this shift. A sudden 2,200 megawatt loss in southern Spain, likely due to generation and grid failures, triggered a rapid frequency drop. Within seconds, automatic safeguards kicked in, cutting the Iberian Peninsula off from France's power supply. The outage left millions without electricity, halting traffic systems, communications, banking, and grocery operations. This wasn't an anomaly. Europe's grid has been operating on thinner margins for years. Germany's nuclear phase-out, France's aging reactors, and dwindling Russian gas since the Ukraine war have weakened stability. With less buffer in the system, local disruptions are more likely to cascade across borders. What happens when the lights go out? Losing power affects far more than lights. It halts gas pumps, disables card readers, spoils refrigerated food, and disrupts transit, traffic systems, and water treatment, especially when backups fall short. During the April 2025 blackout, tourists arriving at airports were left stranded without mobile data or GPS. Smart locks on rentals failed. One visitor injured themselves trying to scale a gate to access their accommodation. Locals faced empty shelves as essentials like water, bread, and canned goods disappeared within hours. With no card systems or ATMs, cash became the only currency that worked. These moments reveal the fragility of modern life. Urban centers rely on tightly timed supply chains, digital payments, and centralized controls, all dependent on electricity. When the grid fails, so does everything else. Emergency services are stretched thin, and most cities lack reserves of critical supplies. And it's not just Iberia. The UK has issued multiple grid strain alerts in recent winters. France has resorted to rolling blackouts due to reactor maintenance. Even Scandinavia, often considered a benchmark, has struggled when energy contracts were strained during cold snaps.
Why more blackouts are coming? Europe is undergoing a turbulent energy transition, and the convergence of climate change, geopolitical conflict, and aging infrastructure means power outages are set to become more frequent. In 2023, the European Network of Transmission System Operators for Electricity warned that over a dozen countries could face electricity shortfalls during peak winter months. Even brief shutdowns of interconnectors, whether from maintenance or cyber attacks, can now trigger continent-wide disruptions. Climate events are compounding the problem. Droughts have dried up key rivers, slashing hydropower output in countries like Norway and Switzerland. In France, soaring water temperatures during heat waves have forced nuclear plants to scale back. Meanwhile, wildfires across southern Europe pose a growing threat to transmission lines. Each incident erodes the reliability of an already stressed grid. Governments are investing in renewable energy and upgrading grid systems, but progress is slow. Infrastructure projects take years to complete. In the meantime, personal and community-level preparedness is critical. That includes local emergency planning, essential supply stockpiles, and drills that go beyond standard fire safety routines. The time to act is before an outage occurs. Ask yourself, if the power went out tonight, could you cook, stay warm, or reach help? If not, it's time to approach preparedness not as panic, but as common sense. Grid fragility is no longer a fringe concern. With escalating risks from cyber threats, extreme weather, and systemic strain, readiness is no longer optional. You don't need to live off the grid, but you do need a plan. Because when the next blackout comes, and it will, preparedness could be the line between disruption and disaster.